Hi, I'm Miss Dara from the Rogers Public Library, and today we're going to be talking about a element of art called texture. So texture is how something feels or it looks like it feels. So if you draw something that looks like it's prickly, then that would be an implied texture. Or an actual texture would be like the actual, you could actually feel it with your sense of touch. So the implied texture is an illusion. So you think that's what it looks like it feels like, but it doesn't really. It's an illusion. So an example of this would be like if you drew a picture of a dog and it looked all fluffy and soft and furry, but when you touch it, it feels like a painting because that's what it is. Versus your actual dog, you can see the texture, you can feel the texture, you can touch that texture. It is soft and furry, and that's what it looks like. So some other examples is you can draw something that is smooth, or you can draw something that is prickly. If you drew a cactus that is prickly and you touched it, it would not be prickly, but if you touched a real cactus, it would be prickly. So that's an example of some implied textures and some real textures. So let's talk about our craft for this time. So we have, this is my example. This would be your actual texture. You can actually feel this part. This out here is actually made with silver Sharpie. And so this is your implied texture. So what you're gonna need out of your packet is going to be the black cardstock, the half sheet of white cardstock, your piece of tin foil, and you're going to need some glue, a glue stick, and your silver Sharpie. So what you're going to do first is you're going to take the cardstock and your glue, and you're going to make an example, like my example. You're going to make your glued design on here. So you want to make sure that you have thick, solid lines of glue that go to the edge. So I'm going to just make some real quick here. So here we go. All right. So I'm just going to make all kinds of designs here. So as you can see, I don't want to move it too much because my glue will run. You can see I did a checkerboard pattern. I did some like corners here, some squiggly lines, some dots. However you want to do it, you could put all kinds of designs on there. So that's just kind of an example of some way to do it. So you let this dry. I let mine dry overnight. And then when you get it done, it will be all bumpy and kind of flat when it dries. Then you take your tin foil and put it over the outside of that cardstock, and then you're going to push down, and you can start to see your stuff coming out, as you can see here. And you would have wrapped this around the cardstock. I didn't do it on this one because I've already glued that down, and I can't do that one yet because it is still really wet. So then you can even take the end of a pencil or your Sharpie and go over it, or you can go on the outside of your design and take along the lines, and it will start showing up more and more. All right, after you get all of your designs done, so like these, I went around them with the end of my Sharpie and made sure all of those were pressed in. Once you get all this all done, you glue it onto your other piece of cardstock and then take your Sharpie and finish out your pattern from like the patterns on here. You're going to finish those patterns out, do the same exact thing. Like I put triangles here, I put triangles out here. So it looks like a continuation of your designs that are on here. So this is implied texture on the outside, and this is your actual texture on here. All right, I'm excited to see what you guys come up with in your projects, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.